If, like Honorable rightly said, if you are a lover of economics and you're also a fan of data, then it leaves much room of worry, especially when you have someone like former President John Dramani Mahama talk about resetting the Ghanaian economy. And I mean, why do I say so? And I love it so much that Honorable gave practical experiences, and so that makes the conversation even better. Now, I would like to start from where Honorable ended. Honorable spoke about borrowing in terms of the Eurobond. I mean, one of the most fundamental things that every financial analyst will tell you, Annie, about borrowing is not necessarily the quantum of the amount, but however, there are two critical things. One is the tenor, and two is the coupon rate. Now, the tenor has to do with the number of years that you have to pay up that particular amount. And the next most important thing has to do with the coupon rate. In plain language, the interest rate that is being charged on that bond that is being issued. Now, Annie, if I would want to take you through the data, in 2007, Ghana issued its first Eurobond under former President John Agyekum Kufuor, and practically that Eurobond was to build the Bui Dam, was also to settle the ECG debt, was also for VRA and to invest in its activity. So basically that amount of money was raised for that, Annie. And this was a 10-year tenor and with a coupon rate of 8.5%, Annie. Now, between...
That's on admission that we actually had a debt problem, power debt problem at the time.
At that time, yeah. So I'll come to that as well.
Okay.
Yeah. But this is to talk specifically about Eurobonds and the need for Eurobonds, so that to present a better analysis, so that when we are quoting figures, people don't just carried away by just quoting figures, but they get to understand what is hidden behind those figures. So, and between 2008 to 2012, Ghana didn't go to the Eurobond market. That is a fact. Now, between 2013 to 2016, where former President John Dramani Mahama became president, each of that year, Ghana went to the Eurobond markets. Each of that year. Now, Annie, what is interesting about this Eurobonds that we went was that I spoke about the tenor, the number of years. All these borrowing was done on short term, meaning that Ghana did not have enough fiscal room.
Doc, I'm sorry, I'm not interjecting.
To be able to operate. In fact, in 2013 it was 10 years. Yes. In 2014 it was 10 years. In 2015 it was. So I will tell you what we have borrowed and the years that we have. No, I'm doing an analysis.
Are you comparing the terms to the previous terms?
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
So now in 2016, we were under an IMF program. The NDC went to the Eurobond market, issued an Eurobond for 6 years. Now, what is even interesting here, Annie, that I talked about is the coupon rate. Mm-hmm. Now, in 2015, Ghana went to the Eurobond market and had its highest coupon rate ever of 10.75%. In fact, what is very instructive about this is that at the same period, a country like Ivory Coast that had previously defaulted on servicing its debt went to the same market and raised an Eurobond of about 6%. That is what is instructive about this, Annie. So in terms of the tenor and in terms of the coupon rate, if we are talking about today, we are talking about debt stress. In fact, I can say on all authority and with all clarity that the NDC is one of the major reasons why Ghana found itself in where we find us. Annie, if you quickly take a look at the Eurobonds that were issued under the NPP government, Annie. Now let me give you an example, Annie. In May 2008, the NPP issued an Eurobond of a tenor of 30 years. 30 years, Annie, in 2018, May 2018, with a coupon rate of 8.6%. 30 years, at the same time, with a coupon rate of 8.6%, Annie. So this tells you that, yes, the NPP has issued an Eurobond, all right. I don't dispute that fact that Honorable is saying. However, in terms of having that fiscal space to be able to repay the money, the NPP actually negotiated for Ghana to have a fiscal space, a room of not less than 20-something years. And at the same time, the interest that is supposed to be paid on this amount, again, the NPP's rate of 8.6% compared to 10.75% is far lower, Annie. Now, that is with the Eurobond, Annie. Let me go back to Honorable spoke about the record of the NDC and former President John Dramani Mahama. And I liked it so much, Annie. You see, it is also instructive for us to know where we are coming from, Annie. And he spoke about debt-to-GDP ratio. And I love it so much when he spoke about it. Now, in 2000, when former President John Ejikwu Nkufuor won the elections and he was sworn in 7 January 2001, Annie, our debt-to-GDP was about 182%. The data is available, you can check it. 182%, Annie. Now, when former President John Ejikwu Nkufuor was leaving office in 2008, that is December 2008, our debt to GDP was actually 32%. In fact, if you are taking the dollar equivalent of that, that was about 8.07 billion American dollars. Now, if you move fast forward from 2009 to 2012, Annie, in fact, in 2012, our debt to GDP was less than 50%. And that is a fact. Now, between 2013, again, that was when His Excellency former President John Dramani Mahama became president of this country. I wouldn't even add where he was sworn in from July to December. I don't even want to add that. I want to add where he actually won an election and became president of the Republic of Ghana, Annie. Now, between 2013 to 2016, Annie, if you do the maths, year-on-year addition in terms of our debt stock, it will give you roughly 91%. So our...
Look, I beg you, Annie, he said in 2012 it was about 50%, is that not it?
Yes.
That's what he said, fine.
Yeah,
so
roughly.
Then you said from Mohammed's time to 2016 when he handed over.
2016, yeah. I'm doing his debt accumulation under him.
Yeah, but it was 56%. Let's just get
no,
the facts.
No. I'll come to that figure as well. No, I'll come to that 56% figure.
That's for facts, facts.
No, that 56% is also problematic, and I'll explain why it's problematic.
You don't accept that it's 56%?
No, I will explain the rationale why I'm saying it's problematic.
So what is your figure?
No, let me finish my analysis and I'll come to that. I'm building a point. Okay. Please, allow me.
Okay.
Yes. Now, what I'm saying is, between that period, and I'm taking the dollar equivalent. Now, from 2008, we stood at $8.07 billion. $8.07 billion.
Nominal figure.
Yeah, nominal figure.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, fine.
Fine.
Now, by 2016, we were at $29.2 billion.
Yeah, nominal figure. Yes.
Yes, it's fine.
Yeah.
$29.2 billion. So it means that under the NDC, if you take 29.2 from 8.07, roughly about $21 billion was added to the debt stock under the NDC from 2009 to 2016. Now, Annie, you see, Honorable talks about 56%. I'll ask Honorable that what was Ghana's debt to GDP ratio in 2015? Ghana's debt to GDP ratio in 2015 was what? Was 73.3%. However, the figure Honorable quote here is when we had a rebased economy.
That's the true value.
I'm coming.
What is it?
If we do the analysis
the 20, what you are talking about was provisional because you hadn't valued the economy properly.
No.
You need to value the economy. Using a rebased year. The rebased year gives you the true value of the economy.
So let me explain. So you see, you've had your turn. You see,
I'm noting it. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm noting it.
In 2015,
I'm noting it.
We were using the 1993 constant prices. That is what we were using. So the NDC did a rebasing of the economy. And when you do a rebasing...
We didn't do it. The MPP that did the correction. It's the MPP that did the rebasing in 2018. Not we. We didn't do the rebase.
Explain their rebase.
So the rebase simply means is that you are using 1983 constant prices. So for example, how goods and services are sold on the market. So when we are doing GDP calculation, we don't use today's prices.
You need a reference year.
We use a reference year.
That's a reference
so
year.
we were using the 1993. So 1993, it is
outdated.
2 cedis per bottle of water.
Yeah.
So that is what you multiply by today's production. And you get to
and
GDP.
Discounted by the rate of inflation.
Exactly.
But it's outdated. The 1992 is outdated.
So
no, but you agree. This is an economic... This is economics. It's outdated. No, but let's agree. You see, people are watching, and professionals are watching.
Yes, and that is why, that is why I'm doing the analysis. That's why I'm explaining all these things.
Let's be careful how we go about it.
See, that is why I'm explaining.
Anyway, let me allow you.
That's why I'm explaining all these things. You see, I have not jumped any. When you even interject, I told you, let me explain it.
Necessary to explain.
To explain for people.
That people will get lost.
Yes. You see, so that's why I asked him that before the rebased economy, our debt to GDP, and when we asked him, when the NDC was going to IMF in 2015, what was Ghana's debt to GDP ratio? He should tell us here. It was 73.3%. That was one of the reasons why we went to the IMF in 2015. So this is a fact. This is the fact, and this is the reality.